Can an ocean become a mountain? It sounds impossible. Millions of years ago, a collision between the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate changed this land forever. The mountains you're looking at today were once hidden beneath an ancient sea. So how did an ocean become one of the highest cold deserts on Earth? This isn't just the story of Ladakh. It's the story of our planet. In the northernmost part of India, nestled among the mighty Himalayas, at elevations ranging from nearly 3,000 to over 7,000 meters, lies Ladakh. It is known as the land of high passes because life here has always been shaped by mountain passes connecting isolated valleys. But Ladakh is far more than towering mountains. Every valley, every river, every rock holds a story millions of years in the making. And to understand that story, our journey begins now. Around 200 million years ago, the Earth looked nothing like it does today. What is now India was part of a massive supercontinent called Gondwana. But the Earth is never truly still. Powerful forces deep within the planet slowly began pushing India northward, just a few centimeters each year. But over millions of years, that tiny movement became a journey of thousands of kilometers. Eventually, India collided with the Eurasian plate. The collision was so powerful that the floor of the Tethys Ocean began to rise. For millions of years, the rocks continued to fold, and the land kept rising. And through this very process, the Himalayas were born. Over the millions of years that followed, these same geological forces shaped an extraordinary landscape. The land that today we know as Ladakh. But after the Himalayas rose, another extraordinary transformation began. It was this transformation that turned Ladakh into one of the world's most unique cold deserts. Every year, moist monsoon winds travel north from the Indian Ocean, carrying enormous amounts of moisture. But standing in their path is the highest mountain range on Earth, the Himalayas. As these moisture-filled winds strike the mountains, most of their moisture falls as rain and snow on the southern slopes. Very little moisture reaches the other side. This phenomenon is known as the rain shadow effect. That is why Ladakh receives only about 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall in an entire year, making it one of the world's highest and most remarkable cold deserts. But even in this cold and arid landscape, life has flourished here for thousands of years. And the greatest reason behind it is the Indus River. Originating near the Kailash Manasaravar region in Tibet, this mighty river flows through the high valleys of Ladakh. It is this river that sustains life in one of the harshest landscapes on Earth. Most villages, farmlands, and ancient settlements of Ladakh have developed along the Indus River and its tributaries for centuries. While barren mountains dominate the landscape, the Indus brings water, greenery, and life. That is why Ladakh's culture, its history, and everyday life remain deeply connected to the Indus River. At an altitude of nearly 3,500 meters above sea level, even breathing isn't easy. The air here contains significantly less oxygen than the plains. That is why most visitors need a few days to let their bodies adapt to the altitude. For this reason, travelers are advised to rest for the first 24 to 48 hours after arriving in Ladakh. This allows the body to gradually adapt to the lower oxygen levels. During winter, temperatures here often fall to -20 or even -30 degrees Celsius. Yet, the people of Ladakh have learned to live in this harsh environment for centuries. Homes built from stone and mud, thickness insulating walls, limited farming, and a deep connection with nature define life in Ladakh. And from this way of life emerges a culture unlike anywhere else in the world. These towering Himalayan mountains did not shape only rivers and valleys. They also nurtured a culture that today has become the very soul of Ladakh. During the first millennium CE, Buddhism gradually spread into these Himalayan regions. The ancient trade routes connecting Tibet and Central Asia carried not only goods, but also ideas, philosophy, and culture. Over time, Buddhist teachings became an integral part of Ladakh's way of life and culture. Meditation, compassion, and deep respect for nature gradually came to define the region's identity. Then, among these silent mountains, monasteries began to rise. They were not merely places of worship, but also centers of learning, culture, and community. Today, these ancient monasteries continue to inspire visitors from around the world. And here begins the story of Ladakh's ancient monasteries. Over the centuries, many Buddhist monasteries were established across the high mountains of Ladakh. Each monastery has its own identity, its own history, and its own spiritual tradition. Near Leh stands Tiksi Monastery, renowned for its multi-tiered architecture. Its design is often compared to the iconic Potala Palace of Tibet. Even today, it remains an active center of worship, learning, and meditation. In the Nubra Valley stands Diskit Monastery, one of the oldest and most significant monasteries in Ladakh. Overlooking the valley is the towering statue of Maitreya Buddha, watching peacefully over the landscape below. Hemis Monastery is renowned for its rich traditions and the famous Hemis festival. Alchi Monastery is celebrated for its ancient murals and remarkable artistic heritage. But these monasteries are defined by far more than their buildings. Their true soul lives on through the traditions that continue to thrive within them, even today. And the heartbeat of these traditions can still be felt in every prayer wheel and every prayer flag. These colorful flags fluttering in the wind are more than just a part of Ladakh's landscape. The mantras and prayers printed on them are traditionally associated with compassion and auspicious intentions in Tibetan Buddhist practice. And as the wind moves through them, they are traditionally believed to carry those prayers and blessings outward. Even the colors carry symbolic meaning. Blue, white, red, green, and yellow. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, these colors are associated with the 5 elements and other spiritual symbolism. That is why these flags are not simply decorations. And then comes another quiet but important symbol, the prayer wheel. Inside these wheels, scrolls containing mantras and sacred texts may be placed. Practitioners turn them, and within Tibetan Buddhist tradition, this practice is associated with prayer and the accumulation of merit. But the spiritual world of Ladakh extends far beyond these symbols. Monks living in the monasteries devote their time to practices that can include prayer, study, and meditation. And within these quiet walls, traditions that have endured for centuries continue to live on today. Here in these mountains, faith does not live only within the walls of monasteries. It has become part of life itself. But the story of Ladakh did not remain trapped in its past. With time, life here began to change as well. The mountains remain the same, but the life unfolding between them slowly began to take on a new form. Today, Ladakh has become a destination for travelers from around the world. Road connectivity has expanded, access has improved, and tourism has created new opportunities for the local economy. But change does not always mean loss. New technology, better infrastructure, and efforts towards sustainable tourism are opening a new path for Ladakh. Perhaps, to truly understand Ladakh, simply coming here is not enough. Because Ladakh is more than just a place. It is a feeling, a silence that stays with you long after the mountains disappear from view. So, the next time you come to Ladakh, don't leave with only photographs. Take a little of its silence with you and leave it a little more beautiful than you found it. Because Ladakh is not simply a place to visit, it is also a responsibility.